Are we live? Are we live?
Yes, we
Where's
are.
my snare?
Back to the roots. Back to the roots.
The
Man.
originals.
What? The OGs.
The originals.
The
The
OG
originals.
LKs. The OG LKs.
Back when we were actually a general sports podcast and not like
Remember back when we had like substance?
yeah. We talked music. Remember that?
I know. Like, yeah, we talked like real life. Oh my goodness. We were such a good pod back then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Leg Kick podcast. I am your host, David, joined by my wonderful co-host and supreme ruler, Michael. How are you doing today?
I prefer the term pure. No, I'm kidding. I fully said along the in terms of our dynamic, I am not the leader of anything.
No. Michael is the leader, the dictator. People don't know this, but behind the scenes, he's actually a very authoritative person. And I'm here to tell you that this is an intervention and you have a problem.
Oh. Right. I can stop whenever I feel like. Is that like the addict saying? I wouldn't know. Man.
Okay, well,
yeah,
we're
go
going
ahead.
to talk about the upcoming card with Jarzinho Rosenstruik versus Ciryl Gane.
You mean Gane? Is it Gane?
Wait, is it Gane or Gane?
Man, I don't know. Like,
we're about to find out this weekend.
Listen, all I know is Joe Rogan and the boys say gone, so he's gone, I guess. They don't know.
Man.
No one knows. Apparently, Israel Asanya's name is supposed to be pronounced Adesanya.
It is Adesanya, but
yeah,
I'm Nigerian, so I know that. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Whatever.
Yeah.
As long
Anglicize it.
As long as them dudes are cashing them checks, I ain't got no problems.
You should call Kamaruddin Usman.
Yes, I call him Kamaru Usman.
Kamaru Usman.
Usman.
Not Usman. Like
yeah, Usman. I'm like every time they say that, I feel like physically sick. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on, strip his culture away from him some more, please. Jeez.
Oh, Marty from Nebraska. That's his new name.
That was funny.
That was funny. Man.
If Ben we have some actual topics to get into, but we got to give it up. That 9 month stretch where Ben Askren hadn't joined the UFC, just fought Robbie Lawler, signed for the UFC, fought Robbie Lawler, and was building up for the Masvidal fight. We got some of the best promo content I've ever seen.
He was great. Man, the whole that press conference where he's annoying Dana to the point where Dana just wants to go up the stage and hit him across the head. It was fantastic. And Ben knows exactly what he's doing, and he's pretending like he's oblivious to everything.
I actually also watched that one a couple of times, and what's funny about that one is what about the other guys? He was literally answering every question. What about the other guys who are there to promote their fights?
Yeah, poor Anthony Smith is on the side, just chilling.
Literally, crazy, man. And honestly, he's still living up to the hype. Ben Askren is still living up to the hype of his previous, or living up to form in hyping his fight with Jake Paul or Logan Paul, or whoever the hell he's fighting.
Man, he better win.
If he doesn't win, how big of an L is that for MMA?
Okay, it's not an L for MMA in general because I think most MMA fans know that this. I am so shocked that Stefano is one of the smartest people I know when it comes to MMA. He's a very smart MMA mind, and yet he thinks this is gonna be a wash. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I don't know what fight year is he in. Comes what is it, April 17th? But I don't know, man. I'm not saying Ben Askren's gonna lose. I'm just saying it's gonna be way too competitive for my liking. That's all I'm trying to say.
I get it.
Yeah. Where do you stand? What do you think's gonna happen?
I'm like, well, you know what? I don't know. It could go two ways. Either there's a wide scale gap between Ben Askren and whichever Paul is fighting, or it's a competitive fight. I don't think it's likely that the other Paul, like the Paul, is way better than Ben Askren. Ben Askren is a professional. He's minimum has been like boxing for at least 10 years, like minimum.
Well, that's the thing. Ben Askren doesn't get tired, and he's got a couple cheese moves. You know,
Yeah,
like
he's got a good
everyone's
chin.
got like everyone's got like their cheese moves that they do that gets everybody. You know,
Yeah,
Ben
exactly.
Askren has a couple of those,
And he has like a competition experience, like way like a significant advantage. Like if this was like a 3-fight or an 8-fight fighter fighting, or remember when we had what's that guy Impa Kasanganai with like 8 fights fighting in the UFC versus like guys with like 20, 30 fights. Like you're always there's just stuff you're not gonna be seeing in there, like the other guy's gonna be seeing. So I don't know. We'll see though.
Yeah, that's true.
I will not be paying for that. That's for sure. Sorry, guys. Oh my God, and I can't believe I didn't say this. And I swear, audience, we have some actual topics, and we'll keep it brief. But a couple of weeks ago, Dana White was like, somebody asked him during a press conference, how do you think we did with the streaming of MMA fights? And Dana White responded, actually, I think it was the Usman fight. And Dana White responded, actually, none of the big guys were streaming this week. So yeah, I think we actually scared him off. Dana, come on.
I'm convinced he's doing it for fun. I'm convinced.
Come on, man.
Like,
come on, man. Is this a trumpet? Just like claim you've beaten like an imaginary opponent. Anyway. He's a joker, man. He's a joker. I like it. I like it. Game recognized game.
Man.
I literally laughed just as hard when he said that. It was so ridiculous. He literally said like we beat this. Like none of the big guys were streaming today, so like nobody really like.
Oh my God! Oh, that's rich. I'm crying.
All right.
Got lost. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right. Okay. So, is there any news you wanted to talk about?
Oh, all right. And scene. Okay, go ahead.
Is there any news you want to talk about this week?
I don't know if we're gonna save this for Sunday, but you told me there was a 16-year-old fighting overseas.
Goodness. I have bittersweet feelings about the ONE FC card, and I can definitely save it for Sunday. I would love, other people's to like watch it and get their opinions on it. But I can give a really brief rundown of some notes I took. So Victoria Lee, who's Angela Lee's younger sister.
By the way, Angela Lee is Angela Lee, one championship standout. So, go ahead.
Yeah. One championship standout. I think is a current MMA champion. Something. Not really sure how they do their divisions, honestly. But she's just 16 years old. She showed some decent wrestling against Iran newbie. And my on-air question to you would be, how would you feel like if you got beaten by a 16-year-old?
Yeah, I'd go home. I'm calling it a day. Yeah, no, but you know what the crazy thing is, and I was saying this, there's gonna be a new tap out like right across the street from where I live, and it cannot come at a better time because the talent that's around the area, like sometimes I roll with some of these 16-year-olds that come into the gym, and they're way more advanced than, well, granted I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu, but like their striking is more advanced. Guys are like they're way further along than I ever was from a technical perspective. Guys are getting more pro ready. Like guys are doing tactics. Like they're thinking tactics like way better and picking them up at that age than I ever was. Right. So, the thing about MMA is it really is rapidly evolving, so I will say, it's not impossible, but you should not be losing to a 16-year-old. A 16-year-old should not even be fighting, but
that was kind of my perspective, honestly. I just felt like there was something wrong with what I was watching, but that's just me.
I
But
think it's because it's a different country, probably different rules on age,
yeah,
restrictions, and
I don't know. I mean, I have mixed but mostly positive feelings about ONE FC, honestly. But I felt they put a graphic up there which said that Serena Williams made her professional debut at 14, and they're trying to kind of make the two equivalents, which was a weird thing to do, by the way. But yeah, anyway, Victoria Lee showed decent wrestling against a newbie, and I just thought like that was interesting. Another thing on the card, man, we can talk about the card later because it was actually a pretty good card with a pretty decent prelim fights. We had Rodtang, Petrosian fighting. We had Wonder Girl on the card as well, and there was even a fight between, I think it's like, I don't want to mess up their names, but this Japanese guy and a Chinese guy, and it was sick. It was like a kickboxing stand up feast. But I saw this ad on ONE FC, and I need everybody to go watch this, please. And everybody else find this ridiculous as I did. ONE FC is doing an apprentice show in true Donald Trump fashion. So basically, a set
I heard about this.
of people, are going to be doing physical and then business challenges to win for the chance to win a $250,000 a year job. It looks awful. It looks plastic. I will definitely be watching.
I was about to say, you're gonna watch. Like, oh my god. You know what? Reach for the stars, man. Like, reach for the stars.
They saw the UFC. They were like, you know what? They're doing the Ultimate Fighter. Why not have the ultimate business exec?
Right.
Who wants to be the next Dana White?
Well, I think the thing about ONE FC is they almost. Okay, so people ask, okay, why can't you promote your fighters like more for the UFC? Why don't you do X, Y, and Z? And the answer to that is one championship, right? Like where you almost go the other way, right? Where it's like you guys take yourselves too seriously to a fault, and like you're kind of shameless for your brand itself, right? In the attempt to promote really, really hard. I think that's like the UFC is just very shield heavy, whereas the ONE FC is very sword heavy. If you know marketing, then you know what I'm talking about when I say that. It's just the way it goes, unfortunately. It's just sometimes when they put themselves on an island, like because Angela Lee fights, I know I could be a doctor.
Wow. Wow. I just feel like their marketing is very shameless.
It is shameless.
Not all of their fights are must-see TV, honestly, but their Muay Thai and kickboxing is pretty darn good. Like they have something there. In my opinion,
their MMA is not bad too when you find the right guy, like matchups. Like they got MMA Shredded's on there, Jeff Chan.
Demetrius Johnson's fighting soon, I think.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. He's one champion. He's the flyweight champion right now, right? Or something.
Yeah, like yeah. I mean. What I want to see is a bunch of these Muay Thai guys really like give it a good go at MMA. I know Rodtang.
Well, we got the answer to that. It's Stamp. It's Stamp.
No, we did not get the answers to that. I just feel like we can talk about this another time. There's something going. I don't know, but
we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk another time. I just feel like it's weird. I don't think any of the Fairtex girls are champions right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which is
shout out to them.
I think when Wonder Girl came onto the show, bless her heart too. She gave us
seriously
all the time in
Wonder Girl.
Yeah, but she kind of alluded. I don't know if this is the mentality of every girl, but they kind of allude to the fact that like, yo, they want to get paid. You know
Man,
what I'm
I'm saying it's not even just girls; it's guys as well. Like the Muay Thai and kickboxing guys all want to do MMA. Like it just seems
Because
like it's a more lucrative thing to do.
yeah, because they're trying to get paid. You know.
I get it. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not, but it would be great to see like a truly special Muay Thai like practitioner like transition like really well into MMA. So I'm actually encouraging of it. I hope it happens, but uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some of these matchups like just don't seem to be going the Muay Thai person's way. And then yeah, my final point on this is I really want to see Rich Franklin's contract because man. Uh, he must be like the commentator who speaks the least I've ever seen. Like he just doesn't care, and I love it. I love it.
Yo,
He'll give scores when he wants. He'll like pass on questions if he wants. There's some fights he doesn't even say anything. I love it, man. I'm fucking with Franklin.
you know what? You know what though? I heard they threw a ton of money at him.
I don't
Like
blame
just
him.
a ton.
I don't blame him.
Man. And yeah. Like, you know what though? I've always said the UFC should bring back like Eddie Bravo scorecards. They used to do that for a while.
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
Bravo. And they should I don't know if it necessarily has to be Eddie. It doesn't have to be. But like even Trevor Whitman, he does a lot of work for ESPN.
Mhm.
Have Whitman's scorecard. Like
The problem is Trevor Whitman is also a coach, so
yeah,
there's gonna be
yeah.
some bias. You can't like give it to a guy who's actively in the field. But I do like the idea of having like some kind of rough,
Yeah.
like scoring system for at least like not like newbies, but like you know what I mean. Like you have to kind of understand what you're watching in order to understand how the 10-point must system and even understand what the scores are. Like we just assume that everybody knows like how this is being scored, and for somebody who is uneducated, it'd be great if the commentators could or some kind of graphic could like
Yeah.
even like they do that in boxing, right? So
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why I think Rich Franklin's role is just educate the masses. That's it. Like don't do anything else but educate.
oh
Right?
man, oh man, yeah, yeah. You know what? That's a good point because some of the other guys are pretty bombastic.
Yeah. And he's
Anyway,
just like bring it back, you know? Anyway. All right. Let's talk some fights.
yeah, let's talk some fights, man. Oh, although, yeah, let's talk some fights. So, upcoming on February 27th, we have Jairzinho Rosenstruik, 11-1 fighter out of Dutch Suriname, versus Ciryl Gane, 7-0 fighter from France. Michael, who
Did you
got?
just give me a France?
I did. Who you got? Who you got?
I think I Ooh, I was about to say God, and then I kind of like thought about it. Uh, I think Gane is a technically better fighter than Jarzinho Rosenstruik.
Expand, please.
He's a better grappler. He's a better kicker. He's got better idea of distance management. He's better in the clinch. He might be a better technical boxer too. Um, yeah, I think he's just a more complete fighter, but more complete doesn't necessarily mean gets the W. Especially when you're Jarzinho Rosenstrike and you got that nuke that is that left hook. And and that's the thing, he just paws out that left hook, but because he's twisting his hips and getting so much torque, it just puts guys out. And the thing about Ciryl Gane is he is like, look, he's not bad defensively, but he is hittable.
For sure.
So
His hands do go down when he throws sometimes. Sometimes. But usually he's like really good at distance management, right? So he's never really just like there to be hit. At least from the few fights really that we've seen in the UFC.
yeah. I mean, he beat Dos Santos, for God's sakes. So yeah, like this is definitely a top tier, top echelon guy. Like we've been saying on this show for, I mean, how many months now? So we know we knew already. It's just when you're dealing with guys like Rosenstruik and for that matter Lewis, right? they could always be down and out until they hit you with something in their hands. And it makes no reasonable sense. Like, Rosenstruik hits he hits unreasonably hard, like to an almost shocking degree, because he throws from such a he doesn't wind up. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a there it is, boom, hits you. So yeah, like I I like Gane's chances. I actually would like to see what happens if he takes it down to the mat. Let's see it. Why not? Be that guy. Take it to
We
the
know
mat.
what's gonna happen when it goes to the mat.
Ciryl Gane gets his back. Applies the pressure. You never know what could happen. But yeah, like I like Ciryl Gane's chances. I'm just very hesitant to put down. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say it. Lock it in. Give me Ciryl Gane.
Yeah, I think Ciryl Gane might be the favorite for this. But I like Rosenstruik, man. I think he's underrated.
Yeah, me too.
His only loss has come against Francis Ngannou, which is no shame. And I wouldn't say it was like a freak knockout, but it was really quick. So
that fight was so interesting looking back. Like
so much. I love Francis Ngannou just as a human being, man. What a guy.
Man,
and I like Jarzinho Rosenstruik too.
These guys, you know what? That's why I was trying to explain to you with Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier is like, look, if you want the answer of who the man is, sometimes you're not going to like the answer you're going to get. And these boys went out there and went like, okay, we're going to figure out who hits harder.
For sure.
And the answer was Ngannou.
yeah, for sure. That's for sure. And shouts out to the UFC matchmakers for that one, man. Like, that was a true treat for us MMA fans because we were just like, we don't know what's going to happen. And it lived up to the hype, for sure.
These guys just started swinging. Yo, poor
Man, I keep saying, Ngannou ran after that dude like he owed him money. Like, he was trying to separate him from his soul. Shouts out to that guy.
Oh. Nobody but Ngannou.
Let's go. Wild Wings. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, man. I think Rosenstruik's got really good hands. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Gane's fights. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, honestly. But I do know that he's got a more diverse set of skills than Rosenstruik. His striking, I would say, is a little bit more unorthodox, especially for a big guy. And that can be helpful. Rosenstruik is way, way smaller than him. I think like Gane's like 6'5" or something like that. He's a big guy.
You know, Rosenstruik is listed at 6'4", which is insane. Absolutely not. This guy's probably my height. Are you kidding me?
Oh, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
6'4",
my is like a good 3 or 4 inches shorter than than Ciryl Gane for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So how's he gonna close the distance?
Well, that left hook is look, if he can parry something and hit that left hook over the top, he can get anybody, you know?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Who's going to be the aggressor? Probably Gane, I would think, because he's been the aggressor in pretty much all of his fights so far. But,
I liked what Gane did against Dos Santos, though. He's drawing out reactions. He's keeping a distance, but he is pressuring. I think that's the way to do this.
Yeah, I think you actually hinted at maybe the way to do this is to get the fight to the floor. I can't really remember Rosenstruik being tested on the floor too much. I have to go back. Great prep for this preview show. But yeah, no, I think like I do know Gane has a decent ground game. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Man loves the heel hook too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's true for a big guy. Weird.
Man.
He just does a lot of weird stuff you don't see big guys doing. I think that's why a lot of people like him. But
Full package.
Rosenstruik is the real deal too. Like I was really they wanted to test him against they gave him all the guys that they tested him. Arlovsky. Let me just pull up his record right now.
Remember when Alan Crowder coming off of that DQ win against Greg Hardy was facing Rosenstruik, and Rosenstruik knocked him out in 9 seconds?
Yes.
Poor Alan Crowder. I shouldn't be laughing. I should not be laughing. But it was literally off a jab. Boom, boom, boom. And it was like, oh.
Yeah. They didn't waste any time with this guy, man. So after that Alan Crowder fight, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure... Okay, that was his second fight. He beat Albini, Junior Albini, beat Alan Crowder, beat Arlovsky, beat Overeem with that last-second knockout.
Yeah.
Controversial,
but shut him down, eh? Overeem shut him down.
Yeah. Lost to Ngannou, beat Dos Santos, and this is his first fight since that Dos Santos fight. So he's got there's not other than maybe his first couple of fights. There's not a scrub in there at all. He's legit. He's a proven heavyweight.
Yeah. No, he's for real. It's just I don't know. I think Gane is the more complete guy, and I tend to lean on the more complete guy to get the victories, more so than judging. Judging based on the fact that Rosenstruik might catch Gane somewhere, that's just the way I see it. Mm-hmm. That's the way I like to pick it. I'm gonna stick with that and lock it in.
Fair enough. Stefano and I said the exact same thing in the last preview show, and we were really wrong. So that's good. Okay, so moving on to the next fight, I probably have even less to say about this one. Nikita Krylov versus Magomed Ankalaev. It's going to be a fun fight. And we're going to see a lot of weird stuff. That I know. Who's going to win? Not sure. What do you think?
Well, interesting. This is a Russia versus Ukraine matchup.
Are we going Crimean on this?
I think we are going. Although in fairness, Magomed looks like he's of the Islamic region. True. So might not be of that ilk, but it is still a Ukraine versus Russia matchup. So there's going to be some tensions. Boris and Hilda are going to get to. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm completely joking.
I had no idea where you were going with that one. I'm going to keep it a buck.
I was going to say some stereotypical Russian names. They're definitely going to be watching. And yeah, it was good. It was just not going into a place I wanted it to go. So, but in fairness, Ukraine versus Russia is very similar to Pakistan versus India in the sense that you're gonna get it matters.
It's like right? Canada and the U.S. right?
Yeah, it matters, right? So. It's going to be interesting to see if that really does play a part in anything here. My guess would be probably not, but you never know, right? In terms of what I like about this fight, I think Magomed Ankalaev really showed me some things against Ian Cutelaba twice where he patient but not inactive, He's really good at drawing you out by attacking as well with his hands. Nikita Krylov is an accomplished striker in his own right as well and is a much improved fighter on the ground. I don't think he's going to try Ankalaev there because Ankalaev can grapple. So you're going to get a stand-up war. And in that case, I might lean Krylov, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ankalaev takes home the W for Mother Russia.
Yeah. I think it could go either way, honestly. It's one of those fights. Once again, I will pull up who Ankalaev has fought in the past in the UFC because I'm just wondering,
Don't worry, I'll play the Yakety Sack.
What?
do you call it? The song that Yakety Sack. I'll do that while you look up. Gotcha.
So his first fight was in the UFC was a loss to Paul Craig, which shouts out to Paul Craig. Man, I love that guy. What a fight.
Was it by triangle?
It says by submission here, so it might have been. I have to go back. I have to check.
Paul Craig has the best triangle in the game.
He does. He does.
It's so interesting.
Well, no, I don't know about the best one, but he has a very good one for a Scottish guy. And then he has a win over Marcin Prachno. Win over Klidson Farias de Abreu, which I think I actually watched that fight.
Sorry. Who? No.
Yeah, really. Really. A win over Dalcha Lunjambula, whose name I should be able to say as an African.
I was about to say, is that your brother?
Yeah, man. Shout out to that guy. But wrong division. Although that was all the way. That's a light heavyweight. And then 2 wins over Ion Kutalaba. So no disrespect, but this is definitely perhaps his biggest test. So.
Oh yeah, man. But I'd lean Krylov. I just think Krylov is a much more experienced guy in that cage, and he's a much more experienced striker. Although Ankalaev has all the tools to stymie him, the tools.
That's for sure. Okay, Mike. Are there any other fights that you want to talk about?
Let's see. I don't mind the Pedro Munoz versus Jimmy Rivera fight. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't mind it. Montana De La Rosa. I believe this is the wife of Mark De La Rosa. I believe. And I am a huge fan of Mark De La Rosa. So, hope she wins. And Angela Hill's fighting on the card, and I talked about her a lot in the video that we put out on the channel today about Black History Month. So, yay.
I should have watched that. Then I would have had a thought on Angela Hill as well. But I'll make sure to check that out. Go watch it, people.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if this is the podcast to say this, but hey guys, GDR is black. Jermaine Durandame is black.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
One of her parents is from Dutch Suriname.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
So I can't remember if it's.
So we do have a decent black women fighter. Finally. Oh.
wait. We have
right in front of us the entire time.
We have Angela Hill. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. Clarissa who?
Clarissa who? But GDR is black, so that was just kind of something that it was honestly something I learned today. I kind of here's the thing too. I was trying for the life of me to see if Robbie Lawler was black had some black, but he's not, right? And I looked really hard.
As on the Hot 97 or like the Breakfast Club, and that was really weird. But no, he's not.
Anytime a UFC fighter goes on to some sort of mainstream station, I worry.
It's so cringe.
Yeah, because if it's not Adesanya, get him out.
That's what I'm saying. The only person that I've actually been entertained by has been Adesanya. I don't know what it is.
McGregor can do it, but they just don't call him.
It's like a shtick, though. He's doing like a shtick. It's really obvious. Adesanya is just entertaining.
Yeah, but could you imagine though, in a world where Colby Covington is on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne? I would pay.
But Charlemagne would never do that though. But that would be great.
I'd pay top dollar. But that's pretty much it. Shouts out to all the fighters though, hilarious. But that's the only real. I've always said to myself, I'm not gonna talk, every single fight. Look, because let's be honest with each other, right? You came to see Ciryl Gane versus Jarzinho Rosenstruik. It's gonna be on TSN 5. It's gonna be good. Watch it.
Yeah, and some of these other guys are UFC vets. Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy, sometimes can have a good fight. Got the Alexis Davis, the Canadian, and then Alexander Hernandez versus Thiago Moises is not a bad fight.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. So honestly, I'm just happy to be watching fights, man.
Yeah, for sure. There's no one here to threaten the children.
Yeah.
Would you like to try
this?
Yeah, give it a shot, brother. Please.
Okay. Like, subscribe, watch on YouTube, follow us on the grams. Yeah. If not, we will run to your family and, I don't know, throw them on a train track like one of those old-timey movies and tie them to the train track and then set the train to come and run them over. Yeah, something like that.
While ragtime music plays in the back.
Okay, I just gotta say this. Do you know they're making a new Tom and Jerry movie?
I heard.
How are they making a new Tom and Jerry movie? It's been established that scarred us as children. Like, why are you making a new one? Anyway, random rant. That's been the leg kick, everyone.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
In this crazy mixed up world where, they're making a new Tom and Jerry movie. What about it? No, I mean, just remember, you got three things. You got life, you got family, and this podcast. Stay safe, everybody. Man, Dana White and those streamers, eh? They're going to war. They're going to battle.
That was so fucking fun.